Donald Trump won the first contest in the Republican primary by 30 points, the second by 11. In the days following, he then demanded that Republicans kill a border deal. This afternoon, that officially happened here in Washington. Now, these are the 4 Senate Republicans who actually voted for the bill. Mitt Romney, who has shared his displeasure with Donald Trump, 2 moderates, and the bill's architect, Republican James Lankford, who took to the Senate floor and said all of this reeked of presidential politics.
I had a popular commentator 4 weeks ago that I talked to that told me flat out, you try to move a bill that solves the border crisis during this presidential year, I will do whatever I can to destroy you.
Now, that was Lankford earlier today, obviously. Consider also what has happened since then. Donald Trump, of course, winning Iowa and New Hampshire. There is talk here in Washington about Mitch McConnell, whether or not he is fit to be the representative in the Senate to lead Republicans. And we have also learned that Ronna McDaniel, the head of the RNC, could potentially be leaving her post after the South Carolina primary. Now, that would allow Trump to potentially shape the RNC. Hello to you all. So here in Washington, Republicans try to figure out what's next. And as they navigate this, Chris, the rest of you all, is this the party of Trump, and does everything here in Washington need to be viewed in that lens, essentially like James Lankford alluded to?
You left out the part about an appellate court throwing out Donald Trump's effort to claim blanket immunity for what he did when he was in office and maybe even out of office. What I've most been struck by this week is it's chaos again, right? We're back to, so Trump really benefits when the story's about Joe Biden. Joe Biden's unpopular. I don't know whether you know this, but he is not young. And so Trump really benefits when the story's about Biden. And as Trump has gone and locked up the nomination, moves closer to locking up the nomination, and we're back to, and I'd forgotten about weeks like this where you're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, and then this happened, and then that blew up, and then that went over there. Whereas for Trump, if he could teleport to another dimension for the next 8 months, he would win the presidency again. But he, being around, creates havoc, does all the stuff for Republicans, and this is what they're going to have to manage.
We should note, of course, Nikki Haley's still in the presidential race, so it's not officially the party of Trump yet. But it sure feels like everything right now is viewed under that umbrella, does it not?
Oh, definitely. And in addition to all of this happening, you have RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel stepping down in the coming months. I would imagine someone more within Trump's wing of the party will step in. But you bring up a good point with Nikki Haley, because I think there's been a lot of questions. Why is she still in the race if she's trailing Trump by some average by 30 points in South Carolina? Well, I think her campaign today and a little last night was really messaging, look at the chaos sown by Donald Trump. Now, whether that's enough to get her in the Republican Party, I don't know, but maybe something down the line.
I'm going to get to you in a second on President Biden and what he's saying about all this, but defend the chaos, Hogan.
You mean the chaos at the border? The chaos in the Middle East?
Okay,
or
so
you
that's
mean the
your defense.
chaos in Israel? What chaos are you talking about? Because the Biden administration clearly has put in policies that have allowed this country to devolve into a hellscape, not just along the border, but in our major cities as well. The refusal to follow laws, the refusal to enforce laws. This is the chaos that the campaign needs to be talking about. But let's make no mistake about it. Chris is exactly right. What you want is a referendum on your opponent, not on yourself. And if you make this about Joe Biden and the unpopular policies and the ones that have hurt Americans from top to bottom, he's going to walk in this election.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.